Welcome, welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I'm Adam,
And I'm Josie.
and so how's your week been?
Oh, it's been fine. We're having work done on the house.
Oh, that explains the
Yeah, there's a big old hole in the back of my house.
okay, because that was you very casual. I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill someone. Like, okay, cool, have fun with that.
I'm Dextering somebody.
I feel
Wouldn't
like
that be
Dexter would
fun?
also put it on that other wall that's visible over here. Like Dexter wouldn't just put it in that one direction over there. I feel like from
Hmm,
what little Dexter I remember watching like a decade ago with Peter. Um,
maybe.
yeah, I think he
I
put
don't really
it
know very
everywhere.
much about it.
Um, but
Just knew that there was plastic sheeting and duct tape and stuff
yes, there is.
involved. And that's kind
Because
of
you got to get
fun.
rid of the evidence pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Um, but
true.
um, so yeah, it's. I feel like there was something else that happened this week. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out in 2 weeks. You excited about
Ooh.
that? Um, GoFobo is doing. I don't know if you've heard of GoFobo. They're this thing that they do free preview screenings
Oh, okay.
for
No.
select movies. Like I'm subscribed to them because everyone like years back when we first started Beware of Spoilers, Peter and I saw Sing Street like a month early through GoFobo.
Oh.
And then I had the downside of it back in 2017 when I was gonna see Gifted a little early, but they don't make sure that it's one use per link. So like an entire dorm at Stony Brook University got tickets using that. So
Hmm.
and it was first come first serve because it was before COVID, so it was all they don't do the pick your seats thing. So I got there and they were like, "Yeah, that's already filled. We'll give you a voucher to go to another movie though." So I saw Logan for a second time.
That's
Um,
cool.
and then this I saw today on the news. It's like they're doing advanced screenings through GoFobo for Guardians 3. And I was like,
Oh.
"Fuck yeah, let me see if there's one playing near me." And it's not near. Like I live in New York and I'm technically New York metro area. But I'm out on Long Island. So if there's something worth going into the city to see in a theater, I'll do it. Because I've done it before for
You
like
have to
fast.
go into the city. There isn't a theater on Long Island.
Oh no, there is. Like I go to a pretty like I go to an AMC that's at 17 screens, which is how I like. If you look at the feed for Beware of Spoilers, there's a ton of movies on there that like people have never heard of and stuff like that.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they play smaller releases there. But in New York City, because it's New York City, they have like advanced things that they don't do out here. So like
Oh, okay.
AMC Empire's at 25 screens and the Lincoln Square AMC has 13, but they do a lot of press events. So like that's where you would
Oh,
end up going for that stuff. So they're doing one there. So I'm like, fuck yeah, let me get in on this. And then I go to click the link and it says you have to join a wait list. And I'm like, what's the point of me being subscribed to GoFobo? Because they email me easily 5 times a day with innocuous bullshit. And it's never like, oh, by the way, there's a screening of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 you can go to a week early.
that's funny. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So um but yeah, so I will not be seeing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 early. I will be seeing what's it called? I'll be seeing it on Thursday night like everyone else.
Hmm.
Like
Like a
a
commoner.
yeah, exactly, like all the other plebes. Which is like yesterday and this week is totally fucked up for next week because I saw both of next week's new release movies already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because next week is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Oh, okay. I've
Um,
seen the commercials for that one.
yeah, it's the little girl from Ant-Man is playing Margaret.
Oh, okay.
And she's really good. Like you don't really get to see her act in Ant-Man because I mean she's playing like a tertiary character, like because it's hard to work with kids on a set. But she's a really
Yeah,
good actress. She does a lot in that movie. And the other one
really.
I saw Polite Society, which
Oh,
is that movie with the Muslim girl who wants to be a stunt woman and her sister's getting married.
oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they've been showing a lot of commercials for that too. It was at Sundance.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was really good too. I saw that yesterday.
Hmm.
But that like next week is only Sisu, but it does free up time for me to go see something relevant to this show because they're giving a wide release to Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
So I'm gonna see Return of the
okay.
Jedi next week, and if I can get a screening because all the theaters are full.
Have you gone to
Um,
see the new John Wick movie?
yes, it's my favorite movie of the year so far.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really
Then I
fucking
guess it's
good.
worth it to go. Have you also gone to see Cocaine Bear? Like,
I
which
did
ones should
not.
I make sure that I go see?
Well, Cocaine Bear is probably out of theaters by now, but if you have
Oh.
Peacock, you can watch Cocaine Bear at home. It's included in
I
your Peacock
don't have
subscription.
I don't have Peacock.
Okay, I'll text you my login info because I have
Oh,
Peacock.
okay.
Um,
Cool.
but yeah, it's on Peacock. I would see John Wick before it's out of theaters.
Okay.
Um, Creed 3 is
Have you
another one
also
movie.
seen the one with Nicolas Cage?
I did not see Renfield, no.
Oh, I really want to see that.
I was busy last weekend.
I am
Um,
feeling will how long has John Wick been out? Like how much time do I have until
John
that's
Wick is
out of
probably
theater?
going to be leaving theaters relatively soon because that
Okay.
that came out about a month ago. It was end of March
Okay.
because it was after Shazam.
Okay.
Shazam,
Gosh,
don't see.
things do not stay in theaters very
Well,
long.
I think the problem is we're entering blockbuster season now. So like
Oh,
this
okay.
week isn't the first. Like next week, the first week of May is Guardians. Then I think there's a lull week in the
Okay.
middle, and then it goes Fast and the Furious. Then there's another lull week, and then there's Little Mermaid, which is probably not going to be great, but it's going to command Dolby and IMAX screenings.
I think
Then
it'll fully depend on the vocals for that one,
I've heard her
on
sing
how
in the
well
trailer.
people accept it.
Like I saw the trailer, and I think that she can. I mean, look, Chloe Bailey is a great singer,
Is
or
she?
Halle Bailey. It's one of the two Bailey sisters who's playing her, but she's a good singer. And she
I
is
think
like
it's
she's good
Halle.
in this. Um, I think so too, because I keep thinking Halle Berry and Halle Bailey. But yeah, she's a good singer, so she is. I mean, so I think she can carry it, and I think and Javier Bardem as Triton's a great choice.
Okay.
Um, like he looks built in that movie, and that's not how you usually think of Javier Bardem. Um, but yeah,
I
he
don't
looks
think I've really seen the casting. I've only just seen people being upset
well,
because,
yeah, because there's a black girl in it, and that's a problem
yeah,
apparently. It's like because real mermaids are not black. Did you know that?
yeah, apparently. I don't know.
I
This
mean, these are
story,
just
it's a story that's like very old. And if you think about all the different stories that have been created by different cultures that are pretty much the exact same
exactly,
story, it's the same thing.
exactly. It's like if you go through history, you will find basically every major culture has a great flood story.
Right.
Um, because it probably happened at some point where there was
Hmm.
some great flood. Um, but yeah, like I don't think it's gonna be necessary. Like I didn't care for The Lion King. I didn't care for Aladdin. Like I still haven't watched Mulan. But
I
I
did
think
watch Mulan. That was good.
the live action ones really haven't done it for me, so I'm not super pumped on this. And plus the other thing is too, we just saw Avatar
Hmm.
and look at the visuals for underwater in Avatar. Look at the visuals for underwater in Wakanda Forever. Look at
Right.
the visuals for underwater in fucking Aquaman 5 years ago. Like
Hmm.
when you see this trailer, I'm like, it doesn't look that unique. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, it like that it
Oh, I've
nothing
got to
grabs me.
see this.
What? Yeah, exactly. Um, but then after that, it's Spider-Verse, which looks fucking phenomenal. Um, like the new Spider-Verse movie with the animated one.
I don't think I've seen that.
You didn't
Or
see the
I've seen the
first?
trailer.
Oh, it
Oh, I
is.
did not see the animated Spider-Man movie.
You
I
still haven't
started
seen
to
it?
watch it once and then I kind of got annoyed with it, so I stopped.
Oh my God, you have really bad taste. That is such a great movie.
Okay.
That is, how do you not like that movie?
I I didn't get very far into it and I found it a little obnoxious.
Um, like that sequel is gonna be really good. And the PS4 Spider-Man's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see him in the trailers. His suit's very unique because it's like the Spider-Man suit, but he's got kind of like the white stripes across his chest, like the Venom suit.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's a suit to fight Doc Ock, so it's got something special in there. It's that game is phenomenal. If you can get that for PC, play that game. That game is worth playing.
Which
Um,
game?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, it came out for PS4, but they ported it to PC.
Okay.
Um, and then like what else is there? The summer is a fucking stacked schedule too, because then it's like let me bring up the calendar because it's like after Spider-Verse, there's a new Pixar movie. There's a new Transformers movie. There's The Flash. Um, and what's this? Asteroids. That's a new Wes Anderson movie. I don't think that's really up your alley. There's a new Indiana Jones movie. That's all in
I
June.
love Indiana Jones.
Me and my grandmother sat down and watched Raiders of the Lost Ark on the Paramount channel yesterday, or it's not Paramount
Yeah.
anymore. It is such a good movie. That movie holds up so well. There's a new
I still have
Insidious.
them on VHS.
Yeah, you need to upgrade. Then there's a new Insidious movie. Then there's Mission
Oh,
Impossible. Then there's Barbie, which is that Barbie movie
that I'm kind of looking forward to.
that looks really good, I think. And then allegedly, now this could get delayed. I'm hearing rumors that it could get delayed, but there's a new Christopher Nolan's new movie comes out the same week as Barbie, Oppenheimer, which is about the guy who developed the atomic bomb.
Oh,
Then there's a Haunted Mansion movie from Disney. Then there's a
excellent.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie, Blue Beetle, um, and The Equalizer rounds out the summer,
Hmm.
and the Gran Turismo movie.
Okay.
They made a movie about the video game Gran Turismo.
Hmm.
And if you like vampires, Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's a
Okay.
real Dracula movie.
A real Dracula
Yeah,
movie.
so like in the book Dracula, there is a chapter that is like how he gets from Transylvania to London.
Mm-hmm.
They load his coffin on a boat. The boat sets sail. The boat arrives in London. The entire crew is dead. The boat is burned, but his coffin's intact. So Renfield takes him. This movie is a
Oh.
story of what happens on that boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that could
Sounds
be
kind of
really
cool.
good. Yeah. Corey Hawkins is in it, and I like Corey Hawkins. He played Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Oh,
But
okay.
he was also on 24, and he was on. Did you watch In the Heights?
No, I don't
You
think
should
so.
you should watch In the Heights. It's really good. But he was in The Heights as well.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's the movie coming out this summer. Are there any games you're looking forward to in the near future?
No, but I did get Atomic Heart, and that has been excellent. Absolutely excellent.
I keep seeing it on
Like,
PC Game Pass and it keeps beckoning me, but I've never actually played it. I've been playing well, Fallen Order for this episode.
oh, okay.
But yeah, like because Jedi Survivor comes out this week.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, this game has one of the best soundtracks of any game like ever. It's
is it
like
licensed or score?
uh score?
Well, score is it instrumental or is it like all music that you've heard before on the radio and stuff? Like is it like
It's not music
GTA?
that I've heard before,
Okay,
but
so
it's
it's
not
scored then.
all just instrumental.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be instrumental, but it's just if you hear instrumental music and it's not
It's
stuff
not
that you've heard on
music
the
that I
radio.
know.
Okay, so yeah, it's score
It's
then.
awesome. It's awesome.
What's it about? I
And
feel like
some of
we've
the
talked about it
concepts
before.
and the puzzles are really, really neat. And some of the bosses just like are very different. And the fighting style, you've got to be pretty like decent at video games, but you can, you know, it's not that hard, but it is challenging enough.
Is it
And the
a
game is
Soulsborne or is it
huge.
is there a parry system in it?
Mm, no, there's a dodge.
Okay. Um, I might check that out then. But this week I
You
have
can do it on like the easier level
oh
too.
good, okay. That was a good thing about Fallen Order when we get into that, but because Fallen Order had the easier level too. But yeah, because Jedi Survivor comes out this week. As does this other game, The Curious Case of the Last Case of Benedict Fox. It's coming to Game Pass. I played the demo of it.
Hmm.
It is. Do you know what a Metroidvania is? I'm assuming you know what a Metroidvania is.
No.
It's a game that's like Metroid or Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like you have like this big open map, you can explore it any way you want, but certain things are locked behind abilities that you need to get by progressing through bosses and stuff.
Yes.
So it's that, but it's very Lovecraftian,
Oh, okay.
and it's like a 3D. It's like 3D environments, but it's a
What's this
2D side
called?
scrolling. The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Hmm.
And it is a fucking hard game, but it's a game that I sat there in the demo playing for about 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm gonna play this game when it comes out because it's that good. Um, and it's an indie game. I always like supporting indie games.
Oh, okay.
Then there is Tears of the Kingdom, the new Legend of Zelda game.
Mm. I've
You're
never
not
really gotten into the Zelda games.
Did you play Breath of the Wild?
No.
Okay, that Breath of the Wild was really good.
I heard it was really good. I think I just never really got around to it.
Right. You have a Switch, right?
Yeah.
The new one, they upped the price at $70 at launch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so fuck them for
Well,
that.
maybe I'll get the old one once the new one launches.
Well, see, the fun thing about Nintendo is they never drop the prices of any of their shit. So you're gonna
Oh,
pay the same price today as you would have paid if you bought it opening day, like I did.
maybe
Because
I'll borrow it from a friend.
yeah, it like they're like Disney in that regard.
Because I
Um,
think it was around the same time as the Pokemon game, and I chose the Pokemon game instead.
well, Pokemon came way after, but I think that
Oh, really?
yeah, Pokemon. Well, Sword and Shield you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because Breath of the Wild was a launch title for
Oh, I didn't
for the
realize that.
Switch. Pokemon was that was I think the second Pokemon game to come out on the Switch. Well, the second main line because Let's Go was the first, and then Sword and Shield was the second. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. And I feel like there was another game that's like coming soon that I'm like, oh, that's gonna be fucking great if they don't shit the bed on it. I just can't
I
remember off the
don't
top of my
really know
head.
what's coming up, but I did hear that there was a Dota patch that changed the entire game.
For what?
A Dota patch that changed the whole
Oh, okay.
game.
Yeah, didn't they make it like oh no, I'm thinking of Counter-Strike where they launched like a new Counter-Strike or something like that, where it was like an entirely new game from the ground up.
No, it's pretty much the same premise, but they changed the way the maps are, and
Oh,
they
okay.
added a whole new class of characters and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
Yeah, and then what was the other game I got back? I got back into Stardew Valley a little bit.
that's a
Um,
fun game.
yeah, you'll never hear me not blow Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, it's a and they he announced the guy Concerned Ape who makes the game. It's like a one-man team who makes it. He
Hmm.
announced that the 1.6 update's gonna have a large amount of content, but not as much as 1.5.
Okay.
Where 1.5 added all the island, like the Ginger Islands.
I've never actually played Stardew Valley. I've just watched people play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so 1.5 added in like an entire second farm and an entire new island chain you can explore.
Hmm.
This new update isn't going to be that, but it's still going to be pretty, pretty expansive in terms of new content to play through. So that'll be cool. Um,
Hmm.
it's a nice little serene game, you know. You just sit there and calm playing it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's nice to fall asleep to people playing it.
yeah, I've fallen asleep playing the game a few times. So I played on my Switch and I just fall asleep playing it.
When
Um,
are we gonna play Minecraft or something again? Or Portal 2? Because that would be fun.
I I still haven't played Portal 2.
I know, but when are we gonna play together?
We're gonna have to work that out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I guess got into
You
what's
know
it
when
called?
I'm free.
Yeah, I know I have your schedule. Um, but yeah,
You've got my schedule.
I've been I've been busy lately with covering games for news because I just played Tron Identity as well, which is it's like $15, but it's a visual novel. But
Oh, okay.
it's one of the most beautiful visual novels I've ever played.
Oh, really?
And it's a branching story, and your decisions actually make an impact on what happens.
And what is this?
Tron Identity. So it's a Tron game,
Hmm.
but like it's
I've never
a
really played a Tron game.
the you know what got me into Tron initially? Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, you love Kingdom
Because
Hearts.
I knew Tron existed, but then when you play the Kingdom Hearts 2 and they have the Tron world, I was like, oh,
Hmm.
this is cool. Maybe I'll watch the movie. And then I watched the movie, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what Tron is what's in that game. And then
Hmm.
when when they did Kingdom Hearts 3Ds, that was which was Kingdom Hearts for the 3DS, but they called it 3Ds. Um,
Hmm.
and that game did Tron Legacy for its, the grid story. Which
Oh,
that movie
okay.
was not good. It looked really good. Like I watched that movie and it's just fucking it's beautiful, but it's just the movie's not great.
The
Like
Tron movie, I think I've seen it. It
the
isn't very
second
good.
the second Tron movie.
Oh, okay.
The first Tron movie I enjoyed because it's like you have to take it for what it is. You can't take it for like, well, compared to movies now, like the
I couldn't
effects
be
look
into
shitty.
it. I couldn't get into it at all,
Oh,
period.
I got
Even
into
back when
that.
it came out.
Well, I mean, if you I can see why, considering you would have been not born for 10 years when the
Oh,
movie
well,
came
which
out
one are you
initially.
talking about then?
Well, there were both of them. Like the first Tron movie I enjoyed. The
There's
original,
one before the one that like is like I guess most not most recent, but the one that came out when we were younger.
yeah, the one that came out when we were in college, or right before we were in college.
That one's the oldest.
No, no, no. There's one before that from
Oh,
1984.
okay. Well, don't be rude. I obviously didn't know.
Well, the way you made it seem, I was like, oh, I guess
No,
you.
I don't know.
Um, and if you're going to go onto Disney Plus and watch science fiction, because like Disney trying to capitalize on the success of Star Wars,
Uh,
watch The Black Hole.
what's
Um,
that?
The Black Hole is it's kind of Disney's answer to Star Wars. It's like there was a period after Star Wars came out where it's like that's when they revived Star Trek in the movies. Disney did The Black Hole. I think Logan's Run was around that time too. But The Black Hole is this movie where you have this, this group of scientists find a space station orbiting a black hole. And it
Okay.
has one of the best killer robot AI bad guys in a movie.
Oh,
Maximilian.
really?
Yeah, he's really good. Um, but yeah, it's worth watching that movie. But it's very much a early '80s movie in terms of like that's the thing is that you have to go back and watch these and not hold them to the same visual effects standards we do now
Okay. I
because it's
mean,
like
that makes sense.
it's very much a movie of its time. In the same way that like if you go back and watch the first Star Trek movie, it's not good at all. But that has nothing to do with the effects. It's just not a good movie. Um, but yeah, let's move on to our topic of the day, which I was trying to segue into with Jedi Survivor talk
I
because
had
that
one
comes
more
out this week.
question
Sure, go
for
ahead.
you. Are we gonna cover Star Wars Legends Death Troopers?
Are you asking that because of the reference to it in Mandalorian?
Is there reference to it?
There is a reference to it
I
in
didn't know that. What's
the
the
finale of the Man.
reference?
Did you watch the finale of the Mandalorian so I don't spoil anything
No,
for you? You didn't watch the finale?
no.
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay. Well,
Um,
is that something that we're gonna cover? You've already spoiled it by saying that, so
it's a subtle thing. It's not like a giant plot point. It's at the
oh,
end of the
okay.
episode. There's a subtle like there's an Easter egg to it.
Okay.
But yes,
That's
we
something
are
we're
gonna
gonna cover.
eventually we'll cover it. Yeah, we're gonna go through the Thrawn stuff first, and then we can do Death Troopers after that.
Okay. I was just curious. Because I think it'd be fun to cover some scary Star
Yeah,
Wars stuff. We haven't done any of that yet.
yeah, because it's like, and in that same vein, I would like to do Tales from Vader's Castle, which is a
Oh, I
comic
don't think I've
series.
done that one.
It's a
Oh,
comic series.
it's a comic
Yeah,
series.
it is.
Okay.
It's IDW. No, yes, it was IDW. Put it out a few years ago, and it's a series of horror monster shorts set
Okay.
around Mustafar.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
they're doing another one, Tales from the Death Star, and it's all just creepy experiments they were doing on the Death Star.
That's cool.
Which is like, by the way, like this is a tangent. This will be the last tangent before we get into Jedi Fallen Order. Um, can we acknowledge in Harry Potter, um, that the Department of Mysteries was up to some shit
Sure,
because,
yeah.
and it's just never acknowledged because it's like at one point they go into a room and there's just like a swimming pool, like an Olympic swimming pool full of brains, like human brains, and they're like, you know what?
Don't remember that.
Let's not acknowledge this. Like it's not in the movie, it's in the book only. It's like let's just not acknowledge this, but there is a literal Olympic swimming pool full of brains, and it's like we're just gonna pretend we didn't see
I don't
that.
remember that in the books.
Yeah, it's like when they're going through the department because like in the movie they also don't acknowledge that like in that scene when they're being chased through the halls of the Department of Mysteries, in order to Phoenix. Spoilers for a movie that's what 15 years old at this point, but they also don't acknowledge that they accidentally destroy all the time turners.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
like that's not
Well,
in the
not all
movie
of
either.
them.
Well, okay, all of them except for the super time turner. that they use in The Cursed Child. Did you
Super
read The
time
Cursed Child?
traveling.
Did you read The
I
Cursed
did.
Child?
I can't remember though.
Yeah, it's not good.
I wasn't a fan because I have a hard time with the screenplays.
Yeah, I'm aware you have a problem reading screenplays.
I'm sorry. I just, I'm not imaginative enough. Okay?
Um, what was it like? Did you hear they're doing the Harry Potter reboot on HBO Max, or I'm sorry, Max now?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they're rebooting Harry Potter from the ground up. They're doing all seven books as a series over 10 years with new actors and all of that. I think this is
Really?
a terrible idea.
I agree. Not especially when people still love it.
It's not just that, but it's like it's recent enough where
Like all the
definitely
actors are still there.
all the actors are still there, and it's like, so what, you're gonna recast, like, how do you
They're not
cast
even that old.
how do you recast Bellatrix?
Yeah.
How do you recast Sirius Black? 'Cause I think at this
Especially
point
when those two literally look
are still
exactly the
alive.
same. And they look exactly the same.
Exactly. How do you, like, you can bring back what's his name as Lupin, like, but then what's the point?
Yeah.
And then the other one is, how do you recast Snape?
Yeah.
Especially considering, like,
You just
r-
have to like drop the character.
and you can't do that because he's integral to the
No.
plot. Because it's like
I don't know.
because it's like she's said,
And how do they
Rowling.
recast like I don't know, how do they recast the three main characters
See, that's the
that
thing too.
everybody's in love with?
If you look at those movies, they got very lucky that they got three kids who aged to continue looking like the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then also didn't turn out to be shitty actors.
Well, I
Because
mean
that's the
they've
thing.
been taking acting lessons since they were that young.
Yeah, but like, look at the revival of Roseanne, and it's like the girl who plays Becky was playing Becky back in the early 90s, late 80s when that show started. It's the same girl. Her acting has not improved.
Well, they she also didn't that show didn't make as much money. So
Oh,
that way they
Roseanne
could pay
Roseanne
for
Carrot.
good
I think it
good
made
good
enough money where
actors.
they could pay for an acting coach for her. And
Okay.
I think the issue with my issue
I
with this
wouldn't say
is,
they're excellent actors, though.
no, but I would say they're like, I certainly wouldn't accuse Rupert Grint of having acting ability. Um,
Yes, no.
like like him specifically is the one I'd be like, well, maybe that's worth recasting. But like, I think Emma Watson is a fine actress, and I think,
Yeah, I
Daniel
agree.
Radcliffe, he's done some interesting things since, um, where
Yeah, I
he's
agree.
kind of, they've kind of separated out from the role a little bit, where I can see them in other things, and then not be, oh, that's Harry Potter, oh, that's Hermione. It's like
Hmm.
Rupert Grint. When I saw A Knock at the Cabin a few months back, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, I was like, what the fuck is Ron doing? Like, to this
I have
day,
no
and
idea.
he will always be Ron Weasley, because it's like, I think that he doesn't do anything to differentiate himself.
Well,
But
he
like,
did do a TV show. It just wasn't very good. He
oh,
had like cancer in it and stuff.
on Apple TV.
No, he had cancer.
Oh, okay, I haven't
I
seen
don't.
that.
Oh, he did do it. It was okay. It was like a British comedy kind of
Oh,
thing,
okay.
or not comedy, drama
But like,
TV show.
but
Yeah.
like, it's not just them, but like Matthew Lewis as Neville.
Or
Like,
Lupin, or oh my God, not Severus. The guy with the Malfoy.
exactly, that's gonna be another one that's really hard to recast, and inherently, and the thing is too, the thing that concerns me about this decision, and this will be the last thing on this, unless you have another thought, but we do have to get into what we're here to talk about. The idea that, and they said this, the guy who's in charge of HBO Max said, we want to retell this story, and we want to diversify, which is not a bad thing, considering when you watch Harry Potter, it's probably the whitest movie you can
Yeah, they're
possibly
gonna make
have.
it maybe more towards the video game that came out with the diversity.
It could be that, or I think the easiest thing they do is you make Hermione black, like they did in The Cursed Child.
Mm.
Like, if you go see Cursed Child in on stage, it's a black woman playing Hermione, which there's nothing wrong with. I have no problem with that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. My problem is, um, they need to protect that young girl if that's the path they're going. Because look at what happened to Moses Ingram. I think that's her name, who played Riva in Kenobi. She got so much racist shit.
Really?
Yeah, the girl who played the Inquisitor in Obi-Wan,
Oh yeah,
John Boyega got so much shit. Candice
that's
Patton, who
true.
plays Iris West on The Flash, gets so much
Yeah.
shit. To this day, she's been playing the character for almost 10 years, and to this day, she gets called deplorable racist things on social media because she has the audacity to be black and be playing Iris West, who is, at the time, not a huge character in the comics. Um, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
this young girl you're going to cast to play Hermione. If this is the path they're going to take, if you're going to cast a black girl, you need to take steps to insulate her from that because that is going to happen.
Yeah,
Because like,
that sucks.
Do you remember the Hunger Games controversy?
What happened in the Hunger Games? Oh yeah,
The
that people were upset because Rue ended up being black, even though it was pretty clear in the writing that that's
That she's black in the
probably,
book,
yeah.
and Amanda Sandberg got shit for that. And she and like the author Suzanne Collins would come out and be like, she's black in the book.
I just can't feel bad for her because she's black.
It's,
That's what
it's
they
like,
were
oh,
saying.
I just imagined a little white girl, and it's like, well, that's your fault for not having competent reading comprehension
Yeah.
skills. Like, but if it like, fortunately now we're at a point where we realize and recognize that this is going to happen. Which fortunate maybe not the right word, but like like we would take steps normally to protect these actors from this. But the
I
issue
hope
is,
so.
I don't think Warner Brothers will because of what Warner Brothers said when asked about how they feel about J.K. Rowling.
What did they
Because
say?
someone in the press pool asked, like, well, what about like J.K. Rowling's going to be a producer on this, and what do you think about having her on this? What does that say to your transgender viewers who are watching this when she routinely disparages them and says hateful, deplorable things about them? And his response was, well, that's an online thing. That's not reflective of real life.
Uh,
And if I'm seeing that and I see the casting call go up and I have a daughter who's anything but white, I'm not putting her up for that role because that response tells me that Warner Bros. Does not give a flying fuck about social media
yeah.
and the impact that it could have on actors, on their careers or otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
not
I
super great.
I just think this is a terrible idea in general. Like that and rebooting Lord of the Rings. I'm like,
Agreed.
we have versions of these things that are considered iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be like if Disney was like, okay, we're gonna reboot the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
why?
one day, sure. Sure, one day, but
And the thing is, too,
today is not that day.
I think technically we're far enough out from the original trilogy that because we're gonna be 50 years out
But
in
why reboot
2027.
something that to make it worse?
Exactly.
Because right now they're not really in a position to make it better, which was
Right.
clear by the last few
Movies.
Star Wars movies they've done.
And I think that like the only way I'd be interested in an original trilogy reboot of sorts is if Filoni did it as an animated miniseries on Disney Plus. Like
Oh,
in the
okay.
style of Clone Wars and Rebels, and it's only designed to bring things in line with the new canon.
Okay.
Where it's like this is the
I'd be
definitive
into that.
version. It's functionally the same thing. Everyone sounds like the actors from the original movies, but it's like maybe there's a subplot about what the fuck's Ahsoka doing during these, or like what else is going on in the wider universe that we now have further context for with the benefit of 50 years of content.
Mm-hmm.
But like unless you're doing that, then don't bother. There's nothing to add to Harry Potter at this point unless you're going to do a prequel or a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that what happened was, and this would be my guess, if I'm an executive at Warner Brothers, I see what happened to The Hobbit. No one liked The Hobbit, and no one liked Fantastic Beasts.
That's true.
Like the closest to people liking Fantastic Beasts was the first one, which kind of had the same response as Phantom Menace, fittingly
Okay.
enough, where people saw Phantom Menace. I mean, we were too young for this, but I hear this from people who were around when Phantom Menace came out and were old enough to remember seeing the original trilogy. Before that, they say they went into Phantom Menace and the initial response was, Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that. It's more Star Wars. I like that. Then as it went on from there, people started to not like it because they started to like realize like, oh, that really wasn't good, and it started to
Hmm.
people started to turn on it over time, which is kind of what happened with the first Fantastic Beasts. I remember walking out of that and being like, wow, that was great. That was more Harry Potter. And then as you sit down and think about it, it's like the movie's not that great.
Right. But
Um,
the one thing with that one is that the following movies didn't overshadow it and show how shitty the first one was. Like the ones after that are not much better or not any
no,
better.
no. Did you see the third one? The third one makes some questionable choices that I'm like, why
No,
the
I don't
fuck
think
did
I
you do
have
this?
seen the third
The
one.
third one came out last year, and it's
Oh,
one of those
okay.
things where it's like I saw it in the theater opening night, and keep in mind, Wizarding World is one of the marquee crown jewels that Warner Brothers has. And I went opening night to see that movie, and I was in a theater at 6 o'clock, which is like prime time viewing, and it was like a big weekend. It was like Easter weekend, I think, or it was a 3 day weekend, or there was some weekend thing where it was like there was no reason for me to be one of five people in the theater.
Jeez.
And I was like, the last time something like this happened was X-Men Apocalypse.
Hmm.
When I saw X-Men Apocalypse in the theater, and I was like, wow, there is no one fucking here. Um, but yeah, I think this is a terrible idea. I think this is just them trying to reestablish these
Yeah, I'm
franchises,
not
but
into it.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think part of it was people expressed a lot of positive thoughts about Superman and Batman being rebooted when Gunn announced that, but it's Gunn and he's going in a different direction.
Hmm.
Like the new Superman movie is a great idea. It's all-star Superman with we don't have to see Superman's origin story. We know Superman's origin story. So it's just Superman in action, having to deal with being Superman. And it's like, all right, you're gonna play it straight and you're not gonna do it weird. Good idea. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the same goes for his Batman movie, because his Batman movie is him and Damian Wayne. So he's been Batman for like what, 15 years at this point. It's an active Batman who knows what he's doing. And now he's gotta deal with this little shit son who's a trained assassin who's like 10 years old.
Hmm?
That's yeah, oh yeah, that's what the new Batman movie is. It's Batman and Damian Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, that is such a good, it's called The Brave and the Bold. It's such a good idea because it's so different from what
Hmm.
we normally see with the Batman dynamic. I think that it has a lot of room for potential. And I think that Warner Brothers saw that and they saw the excitement for those two movies and were like, let's do Harry Potter again because we're doing Batman and Superman again. People love that. And it's like you're missing the key
Oh,
information that they're doing something different with these two.
right.
Because aside from the bot army of Snyder fans, not many people liked Man of Steel.
That's true.
But yeah, let's move on to the topic of conversation for the day, which is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which came out originally in 2019, though was re-released in 2021 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. It was originally released on the PS4 and Xbox One, um, and it is canon. So do you know anything
It's
about this game, or do you know
no,
anything about it? Okay,
no.
all right. So you play as Cal Kestis, who is played by the guy who played the Joker in Gotham. Um,
Okay.
and he is a Jedi who survived Order 66. He's working on a mine on, I forgot the name of the planet is, but he has to rescue someone by using the Force. So the Inquisitors show up, and I'm like, "Where's the Jedi?" So then he has to fuck off and go into hiding, but he gets found by these other people who also survived Order 66, and he has to find and then they're going on a hunt for a holocron that has all the information about all the force sensitive children throughout the galaxy. Um, so yeah, it's a pretty interesting story. Um, did you hear any of that, or were you
I'm sorry. It's an interesting story.
you did?
What I
I,
heard.
yeah, I just went through the basic plot. So it's
I'm sorry.
No, I know. I saw you back there having the conversation, and I was like, she's definitely not gonna hear any of this. So then when I come
So
back,
you just kept going.
yeah, well, I mean, we're recording, so yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's
I don't know, cut it or something,
so
right?
so so basically, let me just give you the Cliff Notes version, even more so than that.
That's
You
probably a
have
good idea.
you have a guy. He's a Jedi. He survived Order 66. He gets outed and he's being hunted by the Inquisitors. He goes, he finds another Jedi or another Force sensitive person, and they go on a mission to find a holocron that has the name of all the Force sensitive children in the galaxy, and that holocron
Hmm.
will let them rebuild the Jedi Order and destroy the Empire. So that's what the
Oh,
game's about. Is
okay.
you're hunting down this holocron.
That's pretty cool.
You go to Kashyyyk, you go to Dathomir, um, and you deal with the Night Sister. You go to Ilum, which is pretty cool. Ilum being what becomes Starkiller Base.
Oh, okay.
Um, and because at one point your lightsaber gets destroyed, so you have to get a new lightsaber, and you have to go to Ilum to get the Kyber crystal.
Oh, okay.
And then you get to pick which color lightsaber you want.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, you can have any color but red.
Oh, that makes sense.
Any color but red and orange. Orange is a pre-order bonus.
That makes sense.
But you can do purple, you can do indigo, you can do yellow, you can do blue, you can do like a darker blue. There's green, there's yellow, you can be like Ray.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, so there are a lot of options for lightsaber color. You can customize your hilt. You find
Ray's
these
not the
three.
only one who had yellow.
No, I know, but I like saying Ray had a yellow lightsaber because it pisses people off. Um,
Why?
I don't know why people get so mad about that. I really don't.
Is it yellow?
Yeah, you didn't see the end of Rise of Skywalker?
No, no, I don't. I've attempted to watch it a few times, but I fall asleep.
Yeah, at the very end, she has a lightsaber and she ignites it, and it's a yellow blade.
Oh, okay.
But
So does
throughout the entire
Ahsoka,
rest,
though.
no, Ahsoka's got blue and green, and then she got white.
Not when she gets new ones in her in the book.
Oh, in the book, I haven't read the book.
That sucks.
Is the book is the book still canon, or is the book no longer canon?
Yes, it
Because
is. It
let me
is
finish.
canon.
Let me finish.
Let
Because
me
the
finish.
the book and Tales of the Jedi tell the same story. It's just the book
Mm,
is more gay.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Because Tales of the Jedi is it's a story of her coming out of hiding and saving the and saving people where she's working. Um, but
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like
know.
yeah, it
I no no no. I She comes out of hiding, but like she also they talk about how she runs from all these places in the book
okay, all right, so
too.
that could just be one
So
of the places.
like, oh, it's
Um,
always gone bad.
yeah,
And this
well,
could be her place before then. Like, who knows where it is in relation to that?
it just so happens that happens a lot to her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and she makes reference of it in the book too.
I gotta read the book still. Who was it? E.K. Johnston
Yeah.
wrote that.
I don't know.
She did. I think it is because I think she also did the Padme books that were really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was one of them that's basically the story of what happens on Naboo during episode one. And it's like it's
Oh.
following Padme and her handmaidens through episode one. So it's not following Obi-Wan and Anakin and Qui-Gon. So it's their story.
Oh.
Um, which is good. I love these things that recontextualize things. Anyway, the game's really fun. It plays like it is a little bit of a Metroidvania in a 3D environment. Plus, there are some Souls-like features with the parrying and all of that. But like the
Is
game that
it
you
a
were
good
talking,
story?
yes, it's a really good story. It's entirely single player. Um, and you can get it pretty cheap. If you go to Walmart right now, you can get a PC copy for $20.
Oh, okay.
Um, you can get a physical PC copy for $20 because
What's it on Steam?
probably on Steam you can get it sometimes for like 3 because they have it on sale. It actually might be on
Oh,
sale
okay.
now. I can look it up for you while we're talking. I can't minimize them. Um,
Okay.
but the fuck is Virtual Pet?
Does it have replayability? Would you play it again?
Um, only because I really enjoy the gameplay.
Okay, that's
Not
a good enough reason.
yeah, but not in terms of like, the
Gotta
story
listen
isn't
to the
worth
story again.
yeah, it's like I like the gameplay, I like the lightsaber combat, I like the way you traverse with the Force. All that kind of stuff is really cool that makes it worth because that's the thing is I've played it multiple
Good
times.
gameplay's important though,
That is
so
for me, that's the most important. That is probably the most important thing because I will play a game with a shitty story if it has good gameplay. Um,
okay.
yeah. So,
That's probably kind of what's going on with uh Atomic Heart. It's like the story's fine, but the gameplay's really cool.
yeah. Fallen Order right now is 39.99 on Steam.
Okay, but
But
it'll probably go on sale,
it goes on sale fairly often.
and the Steam sales hurt your wallet.
Yeah, I resemble that. Um,
Resemble
or
them.
if you use GOG, which GOG is a sponsor, and if you go to multiworldproductions.com/sponsors and you buy stuff through GOG, we do get a percent back, which means I can start giving Josie money for her time if we
Oh my
start getting
goodness.
people doing that.
Oh my goodness.
Um, so yeah, because that's one of our sponsors. You know what GOG is?
No,
Do you
tell me
know?
about it.
Do you know the company that does The Witcher and Cyberpunk?
Sure.
They have their own game store, the same as like Steam or like Valve has Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That is CD Projekt Red's PC game store. And they have a
Oh.
great selection of games, and there are some games that aren't on Steam. Like I bought the Hercules PS1 game that I used to play as a kid for like 7.99.
Hmm.
Um, and they have a huge collection of Star Wars games. They have a huge collection of games, and you can always get stuff on sale there too.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah. It's worth checking them out. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so again, that's if you go to multiworldproductions.com/sponsors, the link will be in the description. You can check out all the cool stuff we got going on there. Not just them, but other sponsors too. But yeah, this game is, I think, very worth it. I would say, like, I bought it at release for the full retail. I would say even if you pay full retail now, it's worth it.
Hmm.
I don't know if your computer can handle it though. That's the only thing. You're probably
If
better
your
off.
computer,
Well, mine can. I have a pretty high-end gaming laptop.
as do I.
I have mine's I think it's an i7 equivalent. Yeah, it's a Ryzen 7, so it's an i7 equivalent.
I
Um,
have I have no idea. How do I tell what kind of laptop I have?
well, you'd have to go into your settings and all that, but I still have my stickers on it, so I have like I said,
Mine
an
says that I
NVIDIA.
have an Intel Core i7.
Okay, so you have the same as I do.
Yeah, and then the GeForce RTX.
Yeah.
And then it
Oh yeah,
says
so you have.
Nitro 5 over here.
Oh yeah, so you have the same. Do you have? Do you? Is yours a Republica Gamers from Asus? Because that's the same thing I have.
A what?
Republica Gamers. Does it come up when you turn it on? It makes that like the sword shing noise.
No.
Oh yeah, mine does. I had to disable that because it's awkward at
How do
work when I turn
I
my laptop on.
how do I see what it is?
Well, what brand is it?
I don't know. It's on the other side of the computer.
Okay.
I don't know how to look. Ugh, gosh. You need so much information. How do I
Well,
look?
I don't need that information. I was just asking. Um, but yeah, I don't need that information specifically.
How would I look?
Well, I mean, it's not important. It's just you can look at the back, whatever logo is on the back of your screen.
On the back of the computer?
Yeah.
Acer.
Okay. Yeah. So Acer's a good brand.
So I can probably run it.
Yeah. Um,
Underestimated my computer.
well, no, I didn't know if you bought a new laptop recently or not. So, and I knew you had an
I've not
Xbox. So you're,
recently, but I do have, but it is newer than what I used to
and like I
have.
knew you had an Xbox. So like me personally, I prefer to play games natively. If it has a console, I prefer to play it on a console than on a PC.
I do too, usually. I
Um,
like the controller.
well, you like I have a plug and play Xbox controller that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that, I can plug my controller into my PC and I can play it like a gamepad. But it's I guess you like yeah, if you have a good gaming PC, you can amp up all your graphics to like the max and it looks really amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, it's just I like sometimes it works, sometimes there are these weird graphical glitches where I'm like, why the fuck is this happening? Like, and it's like
Yeah.
my computer's better than this. Why are you doing this to me? and I paid $650 for you. Can you at least run the fucking game properly? Um, so yeah, it's like that kind of thing. But yeah, I would recommend playing it on console, which would just be my general thing anyway, is if you can play a game on console, play it on console instead of on PC. Um, but yeah, this game is very worth your time to play. The narrative's great, the gameplay is all really fun, and if you like, it's one of those things like because it's a Soulsborne, because the combat's so complex, there's parrying, there's dodging, there's all that kind of stuff. It feels rewarding when you get it right, and if you get it
Mm-hmm.
wrong and take a hit, you don't feel like it's a cheap hit. You feel like,
Hmm.
oh, I can fix this in the future.
Oh, okay.
And it rewards strategy in action, in a way that a lot of games don't.
Hmm.
And I really
How
enjoy
does it
that too.
hold up graphically?
Oh, great. If like I was playing it this week on my computer and it hold like it looks just as good as any
Does it
new first party game that you can get. Like I was playing Horizon, it looks as good as Horizon.
really?
Yeah. Which I haven't played the new Horizon on the PS5 yet with the new DLC, but those games are really good too. And you can get those on PC now too. So
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't like PlayStation.
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't have one and don't plan to get one.
Um because it's like and the thing is too, I was thinking about it, like PlayStation has so many better exclusives than Xbox at this point.
That's what I've heard. I think at this point I'm just do I just it's comfortability. Like that's just what I have, and I'm not planning to get a new console anytime soon.
Do you
And it
have
was
an
like
do you
it
have a
was
Series
chosen out
X?
of this is what all my friends play on.
Right. Do you have a Series X or do you just have the one?
I think I just have the one.
If you're gonna get a next gen console, because they're phasing out that generation, because the Xbox One is the same as the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
They're phasing out in the near future. If you're gonna get a new console, I would recommend PS5 over an Xbox Series X
Okay.
because
I
the
probably won't.
well, no, I'm just saying if you were to,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like Spider-Man 2 is gonna be phenomenal. The Spider-Man games are great. There's a Wolverine game coming for
Mm-hmm.
PS5. You've never played The Last of Us, but The Last of Us is really good if you like stealth games. Um, what else was that? Like Horizon is really good. God of War is really good. And conversely, if you get an Xbox, you can play Halo,
I've played God of War.
the new one,
I've
or
played God of War on the um
PS2.
PSP.
Yeah, they put out a
Oh, the
new one last
PSP.
year. They put out a new one last year that was really good. God of War Ragnarok.
Did you
Um,
ever play the one that came out on the PSP?
no, I played. You know what game I did play a lot on the PSP? Star Wars Lethal Alliance.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever play that game?
No.
It was you play as like the Twilight Bounty or the
The
Twilight's Bounty
only
Hunter.
thing that I played was God of War.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't have a lot of games.
Yeah, there was like that was big and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Mm.
Otherwise known as the reason I got a PSP in the first place, was I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Hmm.
Um,
Why couldn't they just come out with something as awesome as the PSP again?
well, PlayStation is.
Are they?
Did you hear about this? There's this new okay, it let me asterisk this so I don't get your hopes up. So the PS5 and the PS4 have this thing called remote play, where if your PS5 is connected to the internet and your computer is connected to the internet, you can play the games on your on your computer remotely.
Oh, okay.
So like if like if my PSP if I go away and my PS5 is connected to the internet, I can still play as long as I have solid Wi-Fi. This new
Hmm.
thing they're putting out is a peripheral that's like a Steam Deck, but just for
Oh,
remote
okay.
play. So you have to have a PS5. If you have a PS5, you can play on the Steam Deck type thing. Um, but I think at that point you might as well get to the Steam Deck
Hmm.
because I've been considering that. Have you looked at the Steam Deck?
No.
That's their answer to the Switch,
Oh, okay.
where it's like it's a
No, I
handheld.
haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, it's a handheld
Oh no,
gaming
I've heard of
console.
it though, because you can play literally anything
Yeah, you can
that
play
you can
Elden
play
Ring on
on
that.
Steam.
Yeah, you can play Elden
Yeah,
Ring on that in handheld. The battery
right.
life isn't going to hold that long, but you can play it on handheld.
But you can do it. Yeah. Okay,
Um,
I've heard of that. It sounds really cool.
and I don't know about you.
I don't think I'll be getting it. I don't really get the
It's
chance to
expensive.
game
It's expensive and it's not,
on the
you know.
go. I think maybe if I had like a really long commute
Yeah,
and I was not the person
I
driving,
would certainly assume
that I
that.
would do it.
I'm stuck in traffic, so I'll pop out my Steam Deck and play a little bit of Elden Ring
You
while I just sit
know,
here. There was one time I was
when
stuck
I
on the
used to
New York
get
State
stuck in the
Thruway.
traffic in Denver, you probably I could have.
That happened to me once on the Thruway where I got stuck on the. Me and my mom were going up to Albany, and I got stuck in dead stop traffic on the Thruway. Which I don't know if you've probably never taken the New York State Thruway, but
No.
you've probably taken something like it because anything upstate or in New England it's kind of the same, where it's like 40 miles between exits
Yeah.
and there's just nothing, so you're just kind of stuck there on the road waiting.
Yeah, that's how it was out west too.
Yeah,
Um, how long were you stuck?
about 2 hours.
Oh, thought you were gonna match my 13 hours stuck on the road out
13
in
hours.
Colorado. Yeah.
That happened to my dad once. He got stuck for 12 hours
And
about
they
a mile from the house.
one more hour and they were gonna send out the National Guard to come rescue us.
My dad ended up walking home in this blizzard and just left
No,
his
they
car.
wouldn't let us get out and I was still like 50 or 60 miles from home.
Yeah,
So
it's
that wasn't gonna happen. And it was in the middle of like the prairie. So
yeah. Um, but like this is just a side question before we wrap up. You do play the Switch,
just a little bit. I've been playing the catamaran.
Katamari,
Katamari.
with the Rolly guy where you gotta pick
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
There's a new one of those. The remake of the second one's coming out this
I
summer.
heard. I
I'm
saw.
very excited for that. But
I saw it in the thing that you told me to watch, the
Nintendo
Nintendo
Direct
release stuff. Yeah.
did are you interested in? Oh, no, that was the question. The question was when you play your Switch, do you play handheld or do you play docked?
I play handheld.
Okay, I never play docked.
I play docked if I'm playing with somebody else.
Oh, like if you and them are
So like
playing at the same time.
yes, like or we're playing Mario Party or
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart and stuff. Yeah, if we both need to have the screen.
Right. But if you're playing by yourself, you're playing handheld.
Yes.
Okay. Um,
What about
that's all
you?
I had. Oh, I never play on what's it called? On on the screen. I only ever play handheld. I never play docked.
Oh, um, yeah, I'll play Mario Party on this screen because you just need to be able to see.
I bought Mario Party and I think my brother took it.
Oh,
I have no idea where it ended up.
it's such a fun little game.
Oh, if they put out Mario Party 5 again, I would buy that in a heartbeat. That game is so fun.
Really?
Yeah, Mario
I
Party
should have
5 is for the
asked you which
GameCube.
Mario Party to get when we were getting it.
Well, if you're getting it for
Was
the
c-
Switch, I think there's only one.
no, there's a couple.
I think Super Mario Party is the only one I ever played on the Switch. But yeah, if I had the choice to play any of them, it'd be 5, I think, because I really like not just there's a story mode, but not just a story mode. There's also a like the maps are great, and there's
Hmm.
like a kart fighting mode too.
Okay.
And the mini games are great in that one too.
Hmm.
But yeah. And if you have Switch Online, you can play Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 with multiplayer. So like the ones for the N64. Um,
Thanks.
and Josie's deadpan expression means that it is time to wrap up for tonight.
I'm sorry. It's kind of late.
It is, yeah. I have to go and eat.
You're pretty much 30 now. Like
Yeah, I know. As if you're not turning 29 in like 2 months.
you don't know how old I am. I don't even look 29.
No, you don't. I don't look 30 either.
No.
So I look 40.
Yes.
I wanted to get that out before you did.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna leave it at that.
Oh, bullshit.
I wasn't
Um,
gonna say it. I wouldn't be so blatant. I'd just leave it silently.
um, but yeah. So the next episode we're gonna do, let me look at the calendar real quick. Why the fuck did my battery die so quick? I looked at fucking the promotional schedule for the Yankees and the Mets, and now I'm getting advertisements for fucking Mets tickets.
Ew,
Because they can't sell out the stadium without having to
ew.
advertise. And Peter, if you have a problem with that, you know how I feel about the Mets. Um, Let me look at my calendar. The calendar
Peter's not
is
here.
no, I know, but I don't know if he listens or not. I'd rather just get that out there. The next episode is next Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about the Phantom Menace. Then the week after, we'll be talking about Thrawn alliances. Then we'll be talking about Tales of the Jedi. And then we'll be talking about Jedi Survivor, the new game that comes out this week. You can pre-order it now wherever you get
Ooh.
your video games on digital storefronts. It is a hefty download. It's 140 gigabytes. And even if you buy a
Oh
physical
my.
copy,
I might
what was
prepare for that one.
I would say play the first one first. If you don't like the gameplay of the first
I
one,
I'm probably gonna watch somebody play it,
that's probably a better way to do it. To see if
like
you,
a video instead of actually getting it.
yeah, it's a
I don't have enough time to play games anymore.
yeah, it's I find I make time. It also is part of my job.
I
So
make time. Yes.
hey, listen, if
I
people start buying shit through our sponsors, I could hire you and this could just be your job.
That would be awesome. You should start selling merch or something.
See, I was considering it, but I think the issue with merch is that it my issue with that is that it comes off kind of um like I don't know, it just doesn't come off right to me. And you got to find the right merch distributor.
What
And we
about
need
pins?
and we need a good logo.
You could do handmade buttons with the logo.
That's all. Well, we need a good logo because the logo right now is just the Star Wars font on a red and blue background that I made in Microsoft Paint in about 10 minutes on my lunch break.
Okay.
So we need a better logo. But yeah, I so right now we just have the sponsors page if you want to help out so we can hire Josie full time. Um then you can go to the sponsors page. And Mother's Day is coming up and we do have Russell Stover as a sponsor too. So if you have to buy anything for
That's
Mother's Day,
cute.
Russell Stover is really good. Um I sent you the list of sponsors earlier if you want to look at it. Um
Russell Stover's probably has different things on their website compared to in store as
Oh
well.
yeah, 100% because they have a lot better stuff than we used to sell at Walgreens. Um, good like Russell Stover, we have GameFly, GOG, Roxio, DHgate, Dell, Graphic Audio, which is
Ooh,
audiobooks, Turtle Beach, which makes headphones for like Xboxes and stuff like that.
that's oh, I know Turtle Beach. I've had some of their stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
Pinnacle.
Russell Stover's makes these sugar-free candies that are awesome.
I could probably try sugar-free candy, see how good it is, because my grandmother's on that now.
They're the only sugar-free candies that I like is theirs. They do these like coconut clusters that are oh, I
My
could
dad likes coconut a
murder a
lot.
person. Huh?
Do you like Pete's coffee?
I've not really been drinking coffee very much
Oh,
lately.
okay, never mind then. And NordVPN, we
Sorry.
have a subscription, we have a sponsorship deal with.
Oh,
Um,
NordVPN's cool.
Brookstone.
I don't know
Um,
what that is.
if you've ever gone to a mall in the mid 2000s, it's a store that's kind of like Sharper Image, where they have a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to disparage them right now, but they have a bunch of really expensive shit that's like massage guns and like, like
Like the airplane catalogs.
kind of. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, like Sky Mall. Um,
Mhm.
World of Warships, which is just like World of Tanks, but with warships, and Beckett Collector,
That's
which
cool.
is the collecting magazine for like trading cards and stuff. So all of that's on the website. Do you have a joke you want to go out on?
Oh, my life.
The one thing that you prepare
So
for the show. Everything else is just like, I'm not gonna play the game. I'll just let you talk about it, and I'll wing it.
hey, I ask pretty good
You do,
questions.
yeah. I think that this format
Um,
works for when we do video games because I know you don't have time to play them, and I do.
yeah. I wish I did. I would love to have more time to be able to play things like that, but I just don't. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, I have a good question.
Okay, go
Do
ahead.
you think that you would be Jedi or Sith? Or
Hmm.
where would you fall on the Force spectrum?
Hmm. Am I on the spectrum?
That was my next question. Where are you on the spectrum?
Um, well, we're doing a Star Wars podcast, so that definitely puts us somewhere on the spectrum.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm not bleeping that either. I know I probably should, but I'm not going to. Um, um, let's see. I think that I would fall. I don't know. Probably, I feel like everyone wants to say Jedi, but like the temptation's too big, and I know me. It's like, you tempt me with a little bit of power, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Really?
How I ended up being a shift lead at a drugstore for 6 years. The smallest amount of power you tempt me with, I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Oh my goodness. So you'd
Um,
be like Inquisitor level. You'd be
yeah,
like, that's
I
good.
wouldn't.
I'm good
I
here.
I'm not like a middle manager Sith Lord. I'm the guy who gets Darth
This
Vader's
is enough. I
coffee.
don't need any more. Oh my goodness.
Um,
Oh,
what about you?
I think that with Jedi rule, I would probably be leaning more Sith,
Yeah, because then you can't
but
fuck.
I think I would probably be somebody who's like right in the middle and uses both.
You didn't like my joke, did you?
No, I missed your joke.
No, you said, well, with Jedi rules, I probably would be a Sith. I'm like, yeah, because then you can't fuck.
Yeah. So that's probably why I would land right there in the middle and use
Or
both.
like, you know what? Let's say middle, because it's like that's the thing is in the High Republic, there's like a new thing like the Jedi Journeyman.
But I probably wouldn't be middle management Sith. Um,
Oh, here's your coffee, Mr.
I,
Vader. Did you remember the
I'd
cream?
probably be more of like the some of the ones that you read about in the or that are in the books where they're like nature force users, but they don't have that much control over the force.
Oh,
They just
okay.
use both sides of it.
So
That's
like a
probably what
forest
I would be.
pixie, but like a Star Wars version of a forest pixie.
Probably not a pixie, more like one of
Well,
those
I went
rugged
pixie because of your
people.
height, but
Or like, oh, but living out in the forest, I'd probably be pretty dirty, more like a little troll.
more like what's his name, Radigan the Brown in Lord of the Rings.
Like an actual hobbit.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you got the height already, so
And I got the curly hair.
that's true. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I think middle manager Sith
Middle
Lord.
management in the Sith Empire.
Yeah. Although I didn't think about like Jedi Journeyman was an option too, where it's like the Jedi of the High Republic just do whatever the fuck they want without concern for anything. Like that's a
But do you
thing.
think you could only use the light?
See, that's
Because
the question. It's like I
I
don't
think you're totally right with your first answer is that
I
you'd be
don't
like,
think
I get to be an asshole to people and
well no, I don't
I
think it's
was
the
given a little
asshole,
bit of
but it's
power.
like fuck, my phone's dying. Let me just use a little bit of force lightning right now to fix that. Like I don't think I have it in me to use force lightning for like evil or to like choke people, but I definitely have the ability in me to use the force for selfish purposes. Like charging my phone if my
Hmm.
phone's at 3%, or like if I
So I think
really
that you would be, I think you would be Sith.
yeah, even though it
You
wouldn't
just
be
wouldn't
like
be high up in those Sith
exactly
lords. You'd be
exactly
like Sith secretary.
yeah exactly. I'm the guy who Vader chokes out when he gets bad
I'd
news
be
from his
like a
agent,
hermit person. I'd be a hermit person in the woods.
like
That's what I would
Yoda
be.
in Episode 5, but
Yeah,
not as
or the
strong.
healer guy in Bane.
Yes. But yeah, that is, you know, I think we have a great thing for our episode description this week. Um, so yeah, so if you're
How
interested
far
in
are we on the spectrum? Force spectrum. There you go.
I'm gonna
That's
put
the
it in
episode
where
name.
are we on the and then parentheses force
On the force
spectrum.
spectrum.
Um, Probably not gonna put that as the title because I feel like that leads a little bit too aggressively with the joke. Um, but yeah, I think we'll
You
have
could
that in.
just put force spectrum.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That could be funny.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think we'll wrap up there for today. We'll be back next week with the Phantom Menace. Also, Josie might be on for Guardians of the Galaxy, not the third one because I know she's busy and she might not be able to see that in the theater. But for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 on 30-minute reviews. Um,
When's that?
that is the first Tuesday of May, so the date for that would be the second. But we'll probably just record it the same time we record the Phantom Menace episode.
Yeah, I think so, as long as nothing um happens at work.
Yeah, if we just block out 2 hours to record, we can just knock out both. So
As
I'll
long as nothing happens at
okay.
work.
I will take
That's pretty much how it goes.
your yawn as a maybe.
I take my words for what I'm saying.
Okay. You know, I gotta find some of the things that have made us laugh the hardest and turn it into like you can do it on Spotify. You can do a trailer, and
There you go.
I gotta put together a trailer of some of the better moments from this show, so we can try and get more listeners. Um,
You gotta just make a short clip of the thing with the Coke cans.
what thing with the Coke cans? I don't
So
remember that.
funny. It makes me laugh every time I think about you breaking the Coke cans, the Coke
Oh
can
yeah,
box
right,
in the
right,
store.
right. I
How have you
forgot about
already
that.
forgotten? That's hilarious.
I still haven't been back to that shop right either.
Oh,
I
I
still
don't
refuse
blame
to
you.
go
You
in there.
can never show your face there again.
No, I know. Um,
Yeah.
it's good to see that I can still bring joy with that moment of utter
It makes me
humiliation.
so happy. It's so funny
And the thing is too, it's
to
like it's one of those
picture
things.
it.
It's one of those things where it's like that's not the only place that I won't go back to that I did something stupid in. And we'll go out on this. There's a Chipotle that I will not go back to because I was going to leave, and the exit door was a pull, not a push, and I
And that's
assumed
why
it
you
was a
won't go
push.
back?
No, because I pushed and the door didn't budge. But not only did the door not budge, but the chain like hit the thing like very loud, and it attracted the attention of everyone in the building. So it's not just that I pushed a pull door, but I
No,
also
they're already over that. You can go back there.
no
You can go back there.
the embarrassment
You're not, it's
of the
not that
Coke
small
can.
of a town. It'll be fine. They don't even remember you.
The embarrassment of the Coke can. Like I think if I went to the movie theater and spilled popcorn, I
But you
would never
can't go
go
back to
back.
that stop and shop or whatever
No,
you
I
have.
can't. No, I can't. Never again.
Yeah.
And I haven't. I've been good. It's been 2 or 3 months now, and I have not gone back to it.
Good. You shouldn't ever.
And on that note, we will be back with the Phantom Menace next week. And until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, you too. Bye.